Hello everyone, my name is George Blockthief, and today is a pretty big day for Battlefront. The crashed speeder, also known as environmental clutter, has arrived. We've been waiting for a long time for these guys, and they're finally here. These are the DROIDEKAs, the destroyer droids, and they're finally in the game. They're finally in Star Wars Battlefront 2, and everyone is excited for them. These guys have amazing mobility. Firepower is not that great, but you can really control them. Much better than actual speeders, which is what this is supposed to be, as previously stated by some reports back in August, when there was a promotional image released for a new update, a new Battlefront update, and there was a droideka in the background. That's not what was told to us, though. It was said that it was a crash speeder or environmental clutter. Apparently, that's not what it was, and it was a droideka. So, yeah, these guys look really cool. They don't just roll around. No, they don't. These guys can pop up and then fire away. Plus, they've got their handy shield. And at close range, they're pretty good. At longer range, though, they're not great. They also do have splash damage, which is quite good. But they're very slow walking around here. So, if you want to move around, just go into the ball format and roll around wherever you please, and they'll move around pretty quickly. But yeah, close range, you could clearly see that they do some good shredding, but at longer range, you can't get great hits, and the overheat isn't very good. Their shield does have a lot of health. It's not amazing, but it's enough to keep it alive. Currently, I'm playing with the complete defaults of trooper health, of unit health, of ability recharge time, so that you can see how quickly it actually takes to recharge the abilities. Also, while you're in ball format, you can actually jump, but when you're not in ball format, you can't jump. So in all, the droideka looks really, really cool. I don't think there's ever been a unit like it in recent video games. But it does look really, really cool, and the ability that really makes it that cool is the rolling format, which is officially called wheel form. It's just to increase movement speed, and it's basically a trademark of the droideka. But there's also the typical overload ability, and this is an enforcer class troop, so it functions as a reinforcement. It's in the same class as Wookiees, and not with commando droids, though. It's with Wookiees, super battle droids. Yeah, and you won't be fighting against these guys on a non-Clone Wars era map, obviously. But with these guys comes the new Naboo Capital Supremacy map, which really looks really nice. Yeah, and you'll be seeing that later on in the video, but right now I just want to showcase the droideka. Quickly gonna showcase the overload ability once I get everyone in a small area here. So pop the shield, and the shield, it's not too strong when there's a sentry close to you, but the overload does stay alive for a long time, and you can just pop the shield back on when it's ready, which is not very long after, but there is a bit of a delay between when you deactivate the shield and when you actually reactivate it. I'm not really sure how long the recharge time is, but it's not too bad. It is enough time for you to stay alive, and with the overload ability, again at long range, it's not going to do you much. So the tip is, when you can't do anything and you're about to die, go around in wheel form and just run away. Additionally, in wheel form, you can jump by pressing the spacebar, whatever it's bound to. If it's something different, it's a bit odd that you're binding it to something other than the spacebar. But just hop into wheel form and sprint. There's a difference between rolling standard speed and sprinting, and you can move quite well with these guys. They're quite quick. You can't move backwards, you can't move sideways, you can look left and right with A and D, but you can only move forwards and sprint a bit more. And actually, it doesn't do any damage to troopers when it rolls by them. And let's take a quick look at that now. It doesn't actually deal damage to them. It's just the hitboxes collide, and that's about it. So it's a bit odd. It's not preferable really, but that's fine. I'm fine with that. At close range, when you pop the overload ability, it really does destroy all the troops around you. And because of that splash damage, you don't actually need to hit the troopers, because it is quite a precise gun. But you don't need to hit the troopers. You just hit the area around them. It obviously won't do as much damage, but it still will do enough to actually take out the troopers. So, well, that's about it for the Droideka. To summarize, limited movement when you're not in wheel form. When you are in wheel form, you can go wherever you want, as quickly as you want, and actually not take that much damage. Overload, typical overload, with all enforcers really, and the shield is pretty good. The only gripe I have with the Droideka is that its main blasters are just a bit too weak. They're only strong with the overload, because let's just take a look here. They do some damage like at really close range, but in capital supremacy, in the capital ship phase, you're not really going to be in close range most of the time, especially in the hallways. You're not going to be in close range to other troopers. So that's the only gripe I have with the Droideka. Let's now move on to the new clone skins and the General Skywalker skin for Anakin Skywalker. Because I don't want to spend a lot of in-game credits on just 1 or 2 skins, even though I can afford only 2 but not 4, here's just a quick picture of the 212th Recon Division, all 4 classes, Assault, Heavy, Officer, and Sniper, taken off of Reddit from the user ModernDemon84. So you can see that they're quite similar, but their markings are different. You have a stripe on the right side of the Assault and 2 stripes on the right side of the Officer. You have the big stripe going across the Heavy. The Sniper has hardly any stripes, but it's not too hard to differentiate between the classes, but in the heat of the moment, it may be a bit tough, but that's the 212th Recon Division. They don't look too bad. I quite like them, and on Geonosis, I'll use them whichever one I can afford and I will want to afford. I'll use them quite a bit. Additionally, here is the General Skywalker skin. This is Anakin's skin from the Clone Wars TV series, just like Obi-Wan has one, and it does look pretty good. I have nothing much more to say about this skin other than it looks good, it's pretty accurate, I love it. So this is the new Capital Supremacy map. It's Naboo, and it's at dusk, and it looks quite nice. I've just joined mid-match. Just wanted to take a look at all the new tanks, and really a lot of stuff, to be honest. There's quite a bit. There's a lot of dying happening. But another thing that's out in this update is the new TX-130 tank, and wow, that's a bright light, but this is the counter to the AAT. So it's very, very nice. I do remember it from as a Lego set, which I never actually purchased, but now I regret doing that because it's such a good-looking tank, and I would buy it today if I could, but I can't. You can see a few of them there in the distance. There's a pair of them, and they can move quite a bit. They have a lot of mobility, and that's really very good that they have that mobility. So I'm going to spawn in as a TX-130. I've never been able to play as these guys, so let's see what they're like. Okay, they've got the lights on, which is great. Okay, let's see. Ooh. They look nice. Let's just rush in. There's a Droideka. You know what? I'm just gonna fire off some rockets here and completely get destroyed by heavies using ion torpedoes. They're all sitting at the back and they're already shooting me. Oh my goodness. I'm just being sentryed. Okay. Can I not get out of here? It's impossible to get around here. Wow, this is insanity. You know what? I will use the how do I use the charge shot? Okay. I guess I won't use it. There's some droids here. Okay, I got some hits there. What's this? Another super battle droid and another assault there. An interesting ability with this is the rocket ability, which is I'm still a bit confused as to how I can use it. But you can see the dots that charge up, and that's how many rockets you have. I want to find a Dooku in laser barrage, because that's gonna be really fun. Okay. Well, we are gaining reinforcements, and my teammate is pushing me forward, and I guess he really wants me to move up. No, sir, you're not going to be able to actually get through. Here's a Droideka, so I'll laser barrage him. Oh, wow, a tank. Well, I killed the Droideka, and I can't actually get those off. But I've moved up on the scoreboard, so that's not too bad. Okay, pretty good run. I'm still second place in terms of score. I have 82 kills, 31 deaths. Still long skill streak is 11, but I have 13, 44 battle points, and 35 assists. 54,000 score, and people are leaving because this has been taking too long. It's a 40-minute match, and currently Battlefront has died. But that's good enough. You saw Naboo. Well, hopefully you all liked this roundup video. If you did, leave a like down below. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. And I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye.